x squared plus 5x plus 6, we want to factorise this quadratic expression. Now to factorise a quadratic expression, you're trying to get to two brackets at the bottom. That's your aim, the opposite of expanding. X squared term, the only way to get the x squared term is to times x by x. So the start of each bracket must be an x. Okay. The 6, what possibilities are there to get a positive 6? We've got 1 times 6, we could times a 1 and a 6 to get a 6. We could also times 2 by 3. We also must remember the negative value, so if we times negative 1 by negative 6, we would get a positive 6, and if we times negative 2 by negative 3, we could also get positive 6. Then we look at the 5x, we look at the x term, the coefficient of x, which is 5. How could we get 5 by adding these numbers? If we added 1 and 6 together, we'd get 7, so that doesn't work. If we added 2 and 3 together, we would get 5, so that does work. We just check the others to eliminate them. So minus 1 add minus 6 gives us minus 7, so that doesn't work. And minus 2 add minus 3 gives us minus 5, so that doesn't work. The only one that works is 2 and 3, positive 2 and positive 3. So our answer must be x plus 2, x plus 3. Now we can check our answer by expanding the brackets using FOIL or whatever method you use. So x times x makes x squared. X times 3 gives us plus 3x. 2 times x gives us 2x. And lastly, 2 times 3 gives us 6. If we simplify this, x squared plus 3x plus 2x plus 6, we get x squared plus this part joins together to make 5x plus 6. Let's look at an alternative method for factorising quadratics. We've got x squared plus 9x plus 8, and we're trying to get down to our two brackets, our factorised expression. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw out a grid. Okay. In the top left hand corner of the grid, we write our x squared term. In the bottom right hand corner of the grid, we write our number term, which is positive 8. And in the last part, these bits left, we're going to have our 9x. Now we can't write 9x in both, otherwise we're going to end up with 18x. 9x is going to be shared out between these two. So in order to work out that, we need to find out what you have to multiply to get these numbers in the grid. So x squared, how do we get x squared? We multiply x by x. X times x makes x squared. 8, how do we get 8? What two numbers multiply to make 8? Well, there's lots of possibilities here. We could have 2 times 4. We could have a negative 2 times a negative 4. We could also times 1 by 8. We could also times negative 1 by negative 8. These are all our possibilities. Now we're going to write these up here and here, but first we'll need to work out which pair add together to give us 9x. So which pair are going to add together to make 9x? We'll have a look. 2 add 4 is 6, so that doesn't work. We're trying to get to 9. Minus 2 adds minus 4 is minus 6, so that doesn't work. 1 add 8. 1 add 8 does make 9, so that's correct. We just check the last one to make sure we haven't gone wrong. Minus 1 add minus 8 is going to be minus 9, so that's wrong. So the pair 1 and 8 are going to add together to make 9. So we can write our plus 1 and our plus 8 here. So 1 times 8 makes plus 8. X times 1 is 1x. 8 times x is 8x. You notice I just put the sign in each time just so I can remember what it is. Now everything in this grid is going to add together. So we've got an x squared, add 8x, add x, add 8. Now we're just doing this just to check that we have got the correct answer. X squared add 8x add x add 8. The 8x and the x are going to add together to make 9x. So we have x squared add 9x add 8, which is what we started with, so that's correct. That means our answer in the brackets is going to be this part and this part. We've got x plus 1 multiplied by x plus 8. And that's our answer. We can check our answer by expanding the brackets. If we expand the brackets, we should get back to x squared plus 9x plus 8. X times x is x squared. Next we do 1 times x, gives us an x. We can do 8 times x, gives us 8x. And lastly 1 times 8, so that's 8. And again, that gives us what we started with, x squared. 1x plus 8x makes 9x, add 8, so we're correct. Lastly, we're going to look at a question with a positive and a negative sign in it. We want to factorise x squared plus 2x minus 15. So we put our two brackets down, so we know the quadratic is going to factorise into two brackets. Our x squared term is made up of an x times an x. Our 15, we've got minus 15 now. So we want to think what two numbers multiply to make minus 15. So we have minus 1 and positive 15. A negative times a positive makes a negative. We could also have a positive 1 and a negative 15. We could have a 5 and a negative 3, or we could have a negative 5 and a positive 3. So these are our four options. Let's look at them and see which one adds together, which pair add together to give us a positive 2. So minus 1 adds 15 is going to give us 14, which is not 2, so it's not going to work. 1 add negative 15 gives us negative 14, so it doesn't work. 5 add negative 3 does work. 5 take away 3 equals 2, so that's going to work. Let's just check the last one doesn't work. So minus 3 add minus 5, minus 5 add 3 gives us negative 2, so that doesn't work. We want to find a positive 2. So our answer, if we put the 5 and the minus 3 in the brackets, x minus 5, x plus 5 and x minus 3. And we're done. To check our answer, we'll just expand it. X times x, x squared. 5 times x is 5x. Minus 3 times x is minus 3x. And minus 5 times minus 3 is going to be minus 15. 5x take away 3x. It's going to cancel down to 2x. Which is what we started with.